Because Lorch going to Kaizer Chiefs is gaining momentum right now, and I approach one of my guy, which is Mesh. I'm gonna just ask him what does he think about this new story which is gaining momentum. Mullahdope here. If you're new in this channel, consider subscribe. So guys, as things stands over here, we have some news right here. Let me just pop it up on the screen. This is from the newspaper saying that the Kaizer Chiefs bosses finalizing talks bring return because Lorch to Naturena. We have this guy also who actually told us something, which is Lisilo Orula, saying that Kaizer Chiefs heritage, this club will never change. And he said because a Lorch is target for Kaizer Chiefs after player fell out of favor at Mamelodi Sundowns. And also I want to bring you something. You see there is Cardoso there, the coach of Mamelodi Sundowns, on the screen over there. And last time when I check, this guy was actually saying something, guys, and you need to know this one. I'm just linking it with because Lorch, because it says a lot. Let me just go into it. I'll just give you what he said. So Mamelodi Sundowns head coach Cardoso saying that they are working on ways to trim the squad to more manageable size in the future. And he said, I don't like working with oversized squad. I prefer to work with 24 plus keepers would be enough, or 22 with goalkeepers would be enough. So we have to worry about the careers of the players in the moment. We are discussing letting some players to go out. We need to find the right places so to send them. And also sometimes the players say it's not the best for me. So as I am just trying to link this story with what Cardoso said about the players at Mamelodi Sundowns, he said he can manage such big squad and he doesn't prefer to work with many players. So they are working on a way for the players to go or out. So that's why I'm saying this story of Lorch is gaining momentum and it seems like it's happening. Let me just try to bring one of my guys here, which is Mesh, to talk about this story. And also, guys, if you're new in this channel, consider subscribe, as I said from the beginning. And also, as things stands, guys, Easybet, they're giving you 50 Rand plus 25 free spins if you join them right now. The link is on the description. And also 150% match deposit, first match deposit, and 15% weekly cashback if you continue use what you call Easybet. Mesh, how are you, bro? How are you, bro?
Mola, how are you, man?
Nandi Jayam.
Yeah,
Here's the
no, I
news.
just
Here's the
want
news,
to.
bro. The rumor.
Yeah, I can see the news. I can see the news. Ish, morning to the listeners as well. Yeah, Ish, it's good news for us.
Okay, it's good news, bruh. Do you think some of the fans will be happy to see Lorch playing for Mamelodi Sundowns? Because I tried to check also his contract, Mamelodi Sundowns. There's nowhere they are telling us about. So, do you have any details of the contract?
Nope. Yeah, some teams in this country have weird contracts. We won't know anything about them. But I'm hoping that the sentiments of Cardoso are respected by trying to trim down the squad. I mean, you see some of the best teams in the world, they play week in, week out. They're playing every 3 days, but their squad is not, so you see the same names. You look at Liverpool, you see the same names, but then with Sundowns, it has become so oversized that, there's some really, really good players who are not playing. And players that could be changing, the like making history with different teams. You look at Mbule, you look Mendieta now, look the Rook now, also reportedly going. All those players, had they settled maybe in a different team, they could have done much more, for themselves individually. But however, the team, which is Sundowns, has done well over the years, so it's understandable why they would choose to go there. But with Cardoso's sensible notion to say that, the squad is too oversized, they cannot use, Mukwena needs to play. In order for Mukwena to reach his full potential, he needs to play week in, week out. But then if you have to bench him because, someone else also needs to play a little bit, you're also disturbing his momentum, So I think Cardoso is doing the right thing, but then it's also beneficial for all of us in the PSL. Because there's a lot of players that are just sitting at Sundowns and they're not doing anything, and these are quality players that are probably better than some of the best players that we have in the country in different teams. There's a lot of players that can just walk into starting 11s in so many teams in this country, but they're sitting at Sundowns. So I think it's going to be good also for the PSL for the quality to disperse all over the PSL and not just to be at one place and not be used.
Fact. And also we have Ukelele there on the comment section. He said, my worry about Lorch is discipline. Otherwise we can get solid 2 to 3 season from him.
Yeah, I think for discipline to also come, the project needs to be suitable. Like for example, with Lorch, when he went to Sundowns, what was he going to do? Because Sundowns already has everything that he can bring. You understand? So the motivation can be different. The motivation can be monetary, because they're known for that, or maybe just a better situation than what he was having maybe at his previous club, which is Pirates, right? But at the end of the day, what was he bringing to Sundowns? What did Mbule bring to Sundowns? In fact, if you take Masangwani now, what is he going to bring to Sundowns? They have everything. You take another person that's doing well in the country. What are they going to do? They have everything. Even if you take out Reyners, the goals are still going to come. There's Ribeiro, there's Matthews, there's, Shalulile, there's so many of these other people. There's no one who you can say, okay, we're signing this guy for Sundowns. We don't have this. We need this. No. So some of these big players, they make that mistake. Whereas if you look at Chiefs, we don't have a number 8. We don't have a solid number 8. We don't have a solid number 10. There's a lot of open positions. We don't have a solid left back. We can even say we don't even have a solid keeper because we've already changed keepers 3 times. We don't have the right back position also still hasn't been taken. The only positions that have been taken is left back for Dodley, right centre back for Miguel, and then maybe Mtetwa, over time. Now that time has passed, we can say that. Maybe Mdu Shabalala, we can say that. But, the rest of the other players, it's not a guarantee. You understand? So with Lorch, if he comes into Chiefs, there's much more responsibility for him. Yes. Unlike when he was at Sundowns. You understand? Yes. So maybe that can motivate him to do better. Maybe that can bring out something different in him. Because also players, when they grow, right, they also grow with maturity. So hopefully now he's in his last final proper contract of his career. Because after 33, he can still move overseas, but it's not going to be a big move, You look at Pesita also, just getting your last final good contract. I think Chiefs is a good project for Lorch. And I think also Chiefs is a good project for a lot of these other players who are fizzled out, in other teams, because Chiefs actually has a coach now. So he can be infused and used properly.
Yeah, no, man, thank you very much. And we have somebody saying that Sundowns will make it things difficult for Kaizer Chiefs to sign Lorch because they don't want competition in the Premier League.
Yeah, that notion, what can you say? We can just say it's business, but there's intentions, and we don't know what the intentions are. Maybe their intentions is the fear that we're playing, so many competitions, the travel distances is different compared to Europe, all of those things. We understand all of those things. But at the end of the day, players need to play in order for them to be at their full potential. You cannot get Mbule's best potential when he's just sitting on the bench. You cannot tell us about Mbule, then tell us about what he did for his previous club, right? We also want to see what he's doing. The same way Bilal is not forgiven also in terms of what he did with Chiefs, right? You cannot tell us about the Bilal from Ajax and Sundowns when we want him to do something at Chiefs. So some things that are unfortunate. With Lorch, he went there with the coach favoring him, and then he fell out of favor because of change of coaches. There are other players also under Mngiti, they were playing frequently, but now they've dropped a little bit. You understand? So it's understandable. It's really, really understandable, the approach that the teams take. But at the end of the day, when you look at other high-performing teams in the world, they don't have such an oversized squad.
Fact.
They don't have, like you see the same names, man. Maybe out of 7 players, you'll always see the same names. 5 to 7 players, you always see the same names. There can be changes here and there, but it's the same starting 11. Whether it's a big game, a small game, you will see some regular faces.
Yes.
Unless maybe some cup game that, that the team doesn't really care about. But a league game, maybe like a continental cup game, all those things, you see the same faces. So what the approach that Sundowns was trying to use of getting all the quality to be replacements for other quality, I think it's beginning to backfire now because there's a mismanagement of players.
Yeah. Yeah, man, you just nailed it, and I think also it started to actually recognize and see that no, man, this method is not ain't working for us.
Yeah, no, definitely. I don't think I think it's good when you have a coach like Mngiti Rulani who are very, very dynamic. Coaches who can just put, someone at a different position and you are surprised, like, hey, man, he's playing this guy at that position. But Cardoso is a bit more rigid, a bit more like structured, and a bit more direct as to how he does his own things. And he maintains the same style of play throughout all the teams that he coaches. So it's understandable that in order for him to achieve that high level of activity or that high level of performance in the team, he needs to cut down the size.
Fact.
Because remember, all these guys that Sundowns have been signing, they haven't been signing, second-hand players. Like, they've been signing superstars, and they've been signing these guys for a lot of money. And, they cannot sit on the bench. You cannot have someone from abroad and he comes and he just sits on the bench. Like the foreign quota needs to, for all the teams in the country, the foreign quota needs to be used very, very well.
Why?
Yes,
For fact on that one.
Because it's the one time where you open the market where, like, okay, you go on the market, you can find a player for a cheap price, but who does exceptionally well. You need to use those advantages very, very well. And it's understandable with what Sundowns has done, but unfortunately, it has forced guys like Mbule, guys like Lorch, Mendieta. Now we're hearing with the Rook, it has forced some of the guys out of the team.
Yes.
And those are very, very top players. Players that if you see them in Bafana, you won't complain. You won't ask yourself, but what is he doing there? He hasn't been playing at Sundowns, because you know that the player is quality.
Yeah.
So with that happening, I'm hoping that we can distribute the quality so that the quality of the PSL itself can also go up.
Yeah. I know, Mesh. Thank you very much for your time in Play Sport. We just wish this deal can happen. See you on my next lovely video, guys. Thanks, Mesh.
Thank you, Mullah.
Danko, bra.
Wallah.